Welcome back, everybody. This is Two Brothers Outdoors, and we are glad you can join us today. Today, we're going to discuss a couple questions that we get asked all the time. But first, we have to get this log broken down. Somebody needs some bar shells, and this is a log for the job. So stick with us. I'll tell you what those two questions are, and we will address those questions in just a minute. Brothers Outdoors, I'm Rick. I'm Tim.
In the shadow of the pines, where the air is crisp and cold, there's a story in the timber and a spirit that is bold. No city lights or sirens, just the mountains and the trees. Living simple, living honest, in the Adirondack breeze. Two brothers outdoors.
All right, guys. So this log is becoming shelves for a bar. And we have to have one live edge, one flat edge, 12-inch wide boards. Not going to be a problem with this log. You just have to get the best edge facing outboard on the saw. And these boards will enjoy a social life in a bar somewheres. I don't normally wear gloves, but today I'm wearing gloves because this is white pine. White pine is also known as sticky pine. I'd rather not get the pitch all over my hands. All right, guys, the two questions that we're asked all the time. The first question I'll be able to answer very quickly. Everybody's asking about the 300-year-old tree. We had videos cutting up the first two pieces, the second two pieces, no video. That's because we haven't cut the second two pieces up yet. We have several people that want to come out. They want to witness the cutting of the second two pieces so that they can buy pieces that they want out of it. And we only have one carbide blade left. After going through the first two pieces, we hit several pieces of metal in that tree. So we don't dare call these people up and say, hey, we're going to cut on a Saturday or whatever, and they come all this way. We hit something and break a blade, and then we haven't got another carbide blade to go on the mill. So we're waiting till we get blades. We've ordered 10 blades, carbide blades. They were a great deal. I don't know how good they are. We will let you know. If they're good, I'll tell you where we got them. If they're not so good, well, we won't say anything else about them. All right, guys, the second question is, and this one is a biggie, knowing what you know now, would I buy this mill again? And the answer is no, I would not. And I'll explain that to you in a few minutes, but let's get this log broke down first. One thing nice about white pine, pretty light. No sense in wasting stuff. Might as well make some 2x4s while I can. All right, guys, with that last statement, I bet you went, aha! We knew he was sorry he bought a Hudson. No, sir, I am not sorry at all that I bought a Hudson. Hudson, in my book, has been a #1 company. Everything about him is #1. Now, if you remember earlier, I think it was the last video, I told you I preferred to have a mill that was welded together instead of one that bolted together. And my reasons are simple because I'm a fabricator. I've done some mechanical engineering. And when I bought this mill, I realized shortly after I got started that I was going to be cutting way more wood than this mill was meant to cut. This is called the Homesteader. It's a Homesteader line of mills. The newer Homesteader mills they've improved the structure of it. They really did a great job on the structure. But when I bought this mill and started sawing and getting into big, wide stuff like this for countertops, this mill would get into a harmonic wobble and would start going like this. Now, that wobble didn't bother the cut in the wood one bit. It didn't do anything to the cut in the wood. But what I was worried about was that with that wobble, I would start getting breakage in some of the joints. Some of the weld joints would break on it just because of the movement. So what I did was I added these front bars, brackets, braces, braced it up. And then, of course, over the course of time, I've done a lot of upgrades to this mill on my own. I added a auto feed to it. I added a power head to go up and down. Now, one other thing about this mill that I wished I had gotten a different model is because it came with a 14 horse engine. That engine worked perfect for what this mill was designed to do. But I upgraded the engine when I wore the first engine out. Yes, I've got over 1 million board feet of timber put through this mill. At any rate, I wore the first engine out. I put a second engine on it, but it was a bigger engine. I put an 18 horse on it. I wore that second engine out, and now I have a 25 horse on it. And the 25 horse has got substantially more power than that 14 horse. So I could ramp up the feed rate to go a little faster, but that causes issues because this mill only has a single drive belt from the clutch to the drive pulley. And there are bigger mills like the Oscar 36, I believe, has a dual clutch, dual drive pulley, which gives you 2 drive belts, and that'll allow you to go faster through the log without slipping the belt. Now, I've got a belt tensioner on this I built, and I tension this belt pretty good, and I don't get a whole lot of slippage out of it, but once in a while when I'm in a big wide piece of hardwood, I do get some slippage. At any rate, if I were to do this all over again, I would probably definitely spend the extra few bucks and go with the Oscar Pro 36. The bigger mill, basically everything's the same except it's got a sturdier frame and, of course, a bigger motor. But at any rate, I've been very happy with this mill and all these upgrades that I've done. I'm sure if I bought the 36, I would have upgraded a few things anyway. I'm constantly breaking out the welder, And every time I put a video on, it shows me doing some welding. Hudson's like, now what are you doing? I do like the Hudson Company. They're a great company to deal with. But this mill, at the time that I bought this mill, I told you I bought it because of the distance between the guides and the 11-inch throat on it, so I could cut at least 11-inch thick beams without flipping and cutting a million times. This has been a great mill. It's held up well. But if all said and done, if I could go back in time, I would have bought the Oscar 336 Pro. That mill is more suited for what I want to do. And as it turns out, Hudson does sell the auto feed for all their mills. The power head is available on all their Oscar mills and, of course, their other mills. I don't believe it's available on their Homesteader or their Freedom line of mills. But the Oscars, the power head, I think is not even an option anymore. I think it comes on it. At any rate, guys, I appreciate you coming along with me. Yes, I would have bought another Hudson if I could do it all over again. But no, I would have bought a bigger model than the one I got. But I had no idea of the amount of wood I was going to end up sawing. All right, guys, thanks for coming along with us. And one of these videos, we will talk about marketing your wood. That's a very important issue when it comes to sawing and making a little bit of this. But we'll get into that in another video. Until the next one, we will catch you later. And enjoy these videos of me with you by ourselves, because it won't be long. Tim's going to be retiring. He'll be joining us. Instead of working at work, he'll be working at home. Bye-bye now.